got baby face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water make Gulf US obey. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. Me got baby face, me got big cheer. Trump bad, Trump good, me no care. Me write big book, kill billies and stuff. Now me import and wear tie up tough. Me go Yale school, me learn big word. Now me forget everything me heard. Silicon people give me job, me take. Now me like Trump, me make no mistake. Yo, it's JD Advance. Fight walk folk, me say never die. Me protect kids, me born liberal. Him, them, there. America simple, only two gender. The face, the big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water make Gulf US obey. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. Too many gender for my agenda. Went on a bender, execo the sender. Might take Panama just like na. Might take Gaza, pop then a plaza. With this my majesty.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into another episode of CobraCast 199 Sunday edition. Hope you're doing well. Hope your weekend is awesome. How's everyone's weekend going? Hopefully it's good. We had a crazy day yesterday, and we're going to be following up on yesterday's insane news. Another assassination attempt on President Trump. We have a few more details that have dropped, and we're going to get into all of that. Thank you, Eric Guidewall, for the 5 gifted memberships. And we get the man bro dude for a proper 199. I know it says a hundy, but I'm doing my boy a solid, okay? Proper 199 from the man bro dude. Don't worry about reading this one. Can't afford a proper 199, but I wanted to pass on the minor support. Can I get a damn since I can't afford Sweeney? You know what? I see a proper 199, and I have to honor the proper 199 in the proper way for the man bro dude. So there you have it right there, ladies and gentlemen. You can all thank the man bro dude for his generosity to bring us these lovely, 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 wonderful pieces of art. We'll just say that. Thank you, the man bro dude. Hail to you, brother. And just for the hell of it, because you did ask for the damn clip, we might as well throw that one in.
It's gonna fall again.
Damn! One more time.
It's gonna fall again.
Damn! Damn! Thank you, man, bro, dude. Hail to you. Mar Millen says, pre-stream chat, Griff Tax. Hail the 199. Thank you, Mar Millen. Daniel Moore for $11.99 says, the left has started to harass the leadership of my party into removing me and blacklisting me from ever going for election. My career might genuinely be over. Also, they're threatening and doxing me. Dude, that is crazy, brother. You got to stay the course. Whenever bad things are happening like that, it's happening for a reason. You got to stay the course. Stay the course. All will be good. Keep us posted. Mar Millen on Rumble. 410 says, Jeremy, truly a man of the people. You damn right. Thank you, Mar Millen. Appreciate you as always. There's Stormbreakers 20 for Trump YMCA. Thank you. Eric Guidewall with 5 gifted memberships. Tay with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you. Red Mage for $100. Perfect timing as I'm getting ready to drive home after vending at a con in New Jersey. Get to listen to CobraCast for the 4-hour drive home. Thanks in advance for making the drive easy and entertaining. Well, Red Mage, drive safe, brother, and just focus on the road. I'll do my best to entertain and not insult anyone in the Rumble chat for saying I'm their go-to channel. Still feel like shit for that one. Like, usually I don't feel bad for mistakes, but that one I genuinely felt bad. Last night, Alyssa says, Jeremy, you're my go-to channel for breaking news. And I completely read it wrong. And I thought she was advertising her channel. God. It did cost me 50 gifted memberships, so it's all good. Everybody won. So it's all good. Thank you, Red Mage. Let's see. Eric for 50 says, Ryan's poll tonight asked, is Jeremy gay? The answer was, well, they said yes. All of them except me. Well, I mean, because the whole thing is I would never do that to Ryan. I would never do that to Ryan because there is no question if Ryan is gay or not. I mean, there's a reason. There's a reason that when Ryan goes to the gay nightclubs, they just call his forehead the landing pad. Now, what is landing on that pad? You'll have to ask Ryan about that. But we don't have to ask the question, is Ryan gay? Because the gays called the forehead the landing pad. I don't want to know any more details, so I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't know what is landing there, but I'm sure Ryan can tell you. So thank you for that, Eric. I really appreciate it. BMCCB says, who is this guy? Where is Jay? Hail to you, brother. Thank you. Big shout out to Jay for holding it down last night. So let me tell you, I won't go into too many specifics, all right? But I was kind of in hell last night. And what I mean by hell is my daughter had a concert to go to last night because I don't, and she was, with her boyfriend. So I was not going to let her go to this environment by her, or, I wanted to be there to help make sure she got situated. It was a BTS concert. A lot of people were there, and I did not want her going and getting parked. I wanted to be there. So I drove into the depths of hell to make sure I could get her parked and get her situated and all of that. And so let me say, it was at the Buccaneers Stadium. So it was actually a lot more organized than I thought. But yeah, ultimately, I just wanted to make sure. So I was there to make sure she got situated, and I didn't know how long I was going to be caught up in that shit. There was like 70,000 people there or some shit like that. So yeah, I'm not sure. Like I saw probably like 80% women, and then the other 20%, I couldn't tell if they were cross-dressing men as women or if they were just gay men, but that's pretty much all that was there. So, but yeah. And then, like she was trying to show me something on YouTube about it, and she was like, telling me all their names. And I'm like, they all look like Kongman to me. That's all I see when she shows me BTS is Kongman. All I see is Kongman. And she's like, so this is Kongman, our good buddy Kongman. And I'm like, this is all I see when you show me BTS. This is all I see. Like, I just see 5 or 6 Kongmen up on stage dancing and singing. I can't understand anything they're saying. I can't tell them apart. So I just see Kongman. Shout out to Kongman, by the way. Kongman catching strays. But anyway, that's where I was. So thank you to Jay, because I was not planning on coming home early, and then everything happened. So boom. Yeah. So there you have it. That was what I was doing. Liquid Richard for Tid says, apparently calling for a balloon is the MAGA, let's see, not talking point, according to all these leftists. Meanwhile, they all say it's staged. So yeah, let's get into it. So here's what happened last night. Okay. So you had the White House Correspondents' Dinner last night. All right. All of the press was there. The entire Trump administration was there, including President Trump and JD Vance. Members of the media from all major media or major mainline, mainstream, media networks were there. And we had a security breach, and it was a very concerning situation, to say the least. So to catch everybody up on kind of what we saw, let's just right here. Okay. So they did catch the person that did it, and I'm sure most of you are already caught up on that. So they did catch the person. This person has made a lot of different statements. This person hated Donald Trump. Of course, this person did. And they have raided his home. And there's going to be a lot more information that comes out about this individual. But first, let's talk about this right now. So here we go.
Gunman Cole Allen will appear in a federal courtroom tomorrow. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche says it was likely President Trump that he was targeting, along with administration officials during last night's shooting. Let's bring in Bill Malugin. He's got more on this. I mean, it really is kind of a fascinating thing, Bill. You and I were both there. Yeah. You were at the same table John Roberts was talking earlier. You were at the same table that John Roberts was at. And for us to get over there so we could kind of coalesce and figure out what was going on and a coverage plan and so forth took a fair bit, because the tables were very close together.
Oh, yeah. We were all packed in there like sardines. Yeah. Wild experience. And I think we all felt like 3 to 5 seconds of panic as we were figuring out what was going on in that room. But
now what's interesting, too, is you're going to want to stay tuned, because President Trump has done an interview with 60 Minutes. And I've only seen a couple of the clips. I don't know if the full interview has been released, but I've seen a few of the clips, and Trump calling them out like he always does. So it's going to be some good stuff.
In the meantime, the White House is telling Fox News that law enforcement has recovered a manifesto belonging to that alleged shooter, in which he said he wanted to target Trump administration officials. He also apparently had all sorts of anti-Trump and anti-Christian content on his social media profiles. Now, multiple federal law enforcement sources tell us that the suspect has been ID'd as 31-year-old Cole Allen of Torrance, California. We are told he was initially talking to law enforcement after his arrest, admitting his intent was to target the Trump administration, but he has since stopped talking.
And by the Trump administration, this means Donald Trump. I mean, obviously, yes, I'm sure that there are other members of the administration that he hates as well, but make no mistake, he was targeting Trump.
And is no longer being cooperative. Now, those sources tell Fox that Cole checked into the Washington Hilton Hotel on Friday, the day before he allegedly carried out this attack. And Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche explained on Fox this morning how it appears he got to D.C. from California.
What we have learned, and what they've learned just overnight, is that it appears he traveled from Los Angeles through Chicago to Washington, D.C., and it appears he traveled by train during both legs of that trip. As far as motivation, we are still looking into that. It appears he was targeting members of the administration, but I say that generally because that's all we know right now. We don't have any specifics beyond that.
Now, the White House tells Fox that Allen had previously attended a No Kings protest in California.
Of course he attended a No Kings protest. Of course he did, because no rational thinking person would attend one of these protests without being completely deranged. So of course he fucking did.
And his family had actually notified police about a manifesto he had sent to them prior to this attack. His sister reportedly told investigators during an interview that he frequently made radical statements and planned to, quote, do something. Now, last night, Jeanine Pirro, the U.S. attorney here in Washington, announced that Cole has been charged with using a firearm during a crime of violence, as well as assault on a federal officer with a dangerous weapon. He is scheduled to make his first appearance in federal court sometime tomorrow, Trace.
The unclear thing for me, Bill, and maybe you have...
Hang on just a minute. Hang on. Oh, man. Here we go. Wait, are you believing this ridiculously obvious false flag? I can't even pronounce your fucking name. So why do I care what you think? There's a lot I could say. I'm not going to. Just highlighting your comment has done the work for me. And I'm going to leave it at that. Okay? There we go. But yes, obvious false flag. Retard.
Have information, because I haven't been able to find it, is they apparently the family notified police in New London, Connecticut.
Yes.
Right? So New London, Connecticut, the family does not live in New London, Connecticut. We don't know. I mean, we're saying, well, like the president said with Jackie Heinrich earlier, he's like, well, listen, I wish the New London police had contacted. We don't know that they didn't. We don't know that
they didn't. We also don't know exactly what the connection to New London is, if that's where one family member was or something. We'll wait to find that out. But we do at least know that apparently the brother contacted law enforcement and felt something was off, and that the sister who's being interviewed right now had said that this was a guy who was making some statements that were jumping out to us that were pretty outlandish, and that he was plotting something, quote, planning to do something about the issues facing the country. So they had enough red flags to the point where they contacted law enforcement.
Whenever I highlighted his name, it reminded me of this scene right here from Office Space. You all remember this scene, don't you?
We're going to be getting rid of these people here. First, Mr. Samir Naga. Not going to work here anymore anyway.
We don't know how soon it was before the dinner last night, but somebody reached out and felt something was wrong. And then we saw what happened last night.
So you had a guy who was in the Caltech Christian Club, right? You had one of his former, people in that. Goes to anti-Christian, right? Making these statements, and he just seemed to get more radical as time went on. Right?
Yeah, and we'll let the investigation play out as to how he was able to get in there and get so close and be a guest.
So there is a lot of questions about how this guy was able to get so close. There's also some questions as to why do I pull anybody's picture up, because this is what's going to happen. Anytime I pull anyone's picture up, Tree Bear is just going to meme my face onto it. That's what happens, okay? Let's see here. Let's see. So what if you can't pronounce my name? I'm not American, but I've been watching you for years since you were dealing with games and Star Wars. So you still support Trump? You say you've been watching me for years, and then you ask this retarded question if I still support Trump. You just destroyed your own lies, you fucking retard. Hey, I watch you all the time, and yet all I do is talk about Trump, and yet you ask if I still support Trump. I don't know. Let's take a look at my fucking channel, and let's see if I still support Trump, since it's clearly a question. Do I still support Trump? I can't tell, guys. Can anybody tell if I support Trump? There's no way to tell. It's so ambiguous. Like, I have no idea. I wish I would be a little more direct. I wish I would be a little more clear. I can't believe I'm hiding my Trump support. How will we ever figure out if Jeremy still supports Trump? Now we know you're lying. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Holy shit. Yeah, do you still support Trump? What? Like, what kind of fucking retarded question is that? But anyway, okay, forget that. We're not gonna deal with that troll anymore. But we do have more to talk about with this particular topic. Here we go, right here. Okay, we got this from John Roberts.
Bring in John Roberts, co-anchor of America Reports. He was at the dinner when the shooting broke out. I was at the dinner. John, you were about, I would say, three, four tables away, yeah. And everybody I talked to in between those tables, everybody kind of had a different take, right? So we saw a thing. I was closer to the aisle. You were closer to the stage, going to away from the main aisle as you go down the area there. And did it seem to you at first like there was something happening? Because I didn't realize that they thought there was something bad happening until we were actually under the table. So I wasn't quite sure what they were pointing at.
Yeah, I was deep into my burrata salad when suddenly all hell broke loose. I heard a couple of bangs. I didn't know that they were gunshots. I thought at the beginning that a waiter had dropped something or somebody had knocked over a chair or something. And then I turned around and I saw this commotion right in the center. You know, there's a center aisle that goes almost right up to the stage, potatoes. And then people branch off from there to go to their tables. And it is just, I mean, you're jammed like sardines in there. I really don't know how the fire marshal allows it, because you can't move in there. Right. And if you had to evacuate quickly, it would be really difficult. So I saw this commotion going up the center aisle, and I thought that somebody had come in like a protester because there were so many of them outside and was trying to run up to the stage, and that person was being tackled. Had no concept that there were gunshots fired outside and that this was all.
The good news is, and I don't necessarily mean this directed at John Roberts. I don't, from everything I've seen from him, he seems like a level-headed dude, but I could be wrong. But the point being is that the media overall, it's hilarious that the media that pushes these lies and pushes these narratives to very weak-minded people that then eat that stuff up. It's pretty hilarious that they now have had to experience what it's like to be a Trump supporter and to be Donald Trump. Simple as that.
Security, Secret Service, Capitol Police, and everybody else rushing to get the protectees out of there. I mean, the Speaker of the House was there, so many members of Congress, every cabinet member except for one or two were there as well. So I wasn't clear at the beginning what had gone on. We were, as journalists, probably more curious than anything. My wife grabbed me and said, "Get under the table."
Yeah.
Because I was standing up, trying to find out what was going on.
But you're exactly right, John, because when I was trying to help this woman who was next to us because she was having trouble kind of getting down and there were chairs. And so as I got up to go over to kind of help her get under the table, you look around and the chairs, you would have had to climb over chairs to try and get out of the way. I mean, once you got to the aisle, you could run. But
that's a good point. The media isn't pushing the cross state lines narrative. You remember when, and dude, like this is how easily controlled left-wing people are. During the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, the media pushed the narrative that he crossed state lines. And then you had left-wingers going, he crossed state lines. And you're like, and? Like, there's nothing illegal about crossing state lines. You realize that, right? They're like, yeah, but he crossed state lines. And I'm like, but there's literally no one has ever had a problem with crossing state lines until Kyle Rittenhouse. Good Lord.
But there were chairs in the way.
And in fact, I think some of the Secret Service agents, that's the CAT team, the counter assault team you see there up on the stage, their presence was very welcome.
Right.
I have to say, because, they had their long guns trained at the door just in case anybody came through it. And they're like the special forces of the Secret Service, and they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, we saw some Secret Service having to jump over tables to get to the protectees because it's so crowded. And now you have to look at it in the context of, well, is the security right for this venue? I've been to these things since 1999. Clinton, Bush, Obama.
Yeah, stricter gun laws in the states. That's not what they were talking about. Trust me, the left was not referring to that. The left was not even talking about that. The left was simply trying to paint a negative narrative around crossing state lines. The context was never brought up. They never brought any of the context up because it was never about the context. It was about building a narrative of fear that this man crossed state lines. It was never like he crossed state lines and he did it because laws are different here. It was never that. That was never what they were talking about.
Trump never went in his first term. And you think, okay, it seems to be secure enough, but is this Trump-level security? John Fetterman doesn't think so. He put this out on X. He said that venue wasn't built to accommodate an event with a line of succession for the U.S. government. After witnessing last night, drop the Trump derangement syndrome, build a White House ballroom for events exactly like these.
And on top of that, I've seen a lot of people trying to say that the NPC response from Trump supporters was that it's all about the ballroom. Well, is John Fetterman a Trump supporter? Is he a MAGA? Is he wearing a red hat? Does he just often talk about MAGA talking points? Maybe the ballroom narrative is out there because it literally makes the most sense, because it's common sense. That's simply all it is. That's why you saw so many people responding about the ballroom, because once again, Trump is right, and it is a common sense approach.
And then I thought to myself, one of the conveniences of that hotel, because I had a room there last night, I pulled up in my SUV at about 3:30 in the afternoon, parked it in the self-parking underground, and because I had a virtual key, grabbed my luggage, which happened to consist of my wife's gown, a tuxedo for me, and an overnight bag, and went directly up the elevator to my room. I could have had an SUV full of weapons, and nobody would have known it. And even the guy who allegedly perpetrated this incident mocked the lack of security. He checked in on a Friday, and said, I'm walking.
That's what I said last night about this. Like this was a massive security failure, massive. And that's where, like, I know we got to investigate the suspect and all of that, but you need to investigate a lot more than that. And this massive security breach should be one of the priorities in what they are looking into. Because holy crap, man, that is unacceptable on every level. Every level. Scully for a proper 199 says, hail Jeremy, hail chat. Happy you're streaming tonight. Start my week out right. Thank you, Scully. Appreciate you as always. Now, I know, Scully, we know you are a part of the 11%. All right. And Krista came in the chat saying something about a video she's working on. I guess she's conspiring with you ladies, but I don't know about that video. But because we love the ladies, we love the 11%. This is for you and for all the ladies in the chat.
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, and then they got go. Time to wake up, bitch. Get up. Get up. Get up.
That is, now listen to all the ladies out there, okay? I don't want any of you to feel like every man looks like that. That is peak male physical attributes right there. 99.9% of us will never reach that status. We will never reach that status. Most of us are probably going to be in the Henry Cavill level. None of us will reach the JD advanced level. Okay. So I'm sorry if that's your expectation, but that's very rare. Like that's like, very, very, very rare. Most of the Chads in the chat are going to be able to compare to Henry Cavill. Most of the Snake Pit Chads, they're Henry Cavill level, but we're never going to reach JD Vance level. That's just not going to happen. So, Zwani for 20 on Rumble says, Jeremy, would you stop the swear words? Common sense is going too far. What the F? Wait a minute. Zwani. That's not Zwani. Zwani has a number 2 by her name, right? That's Zwani 1, right? Am I wrong about that? Or does Zwani, maybe I'm getting mixed up on the YouTube side. Is that the Zwani? Is that the real Zwani in my Rumble chat? I feel like Zwani 2 is what her name is over there. Where's Zwani 5? Is that going to be a new meme now? Oh, man. Oh, you're number 1 on Rumble. Okay, so it is. See, I got confused for a minute. See, Zwani, you're confusing me. You're confusing me. All right, she's number 1 on Rumble. Okay, we got that. At least you know I'm paying attention, okay? At least you know I'm paying attention. So, yeah, so I saw Zwani 1 and I got a little confused. So there you have it. Okay. Now we're good. So would you stop using the swear words? Common sense is going too far. Common sense is not so common. Common sense is not so common anymore, unfortunately. Zwani, I apologize for the memes that are about to happen. You're about to get, there's some X-Wing level memes that are about to happen now. I apologize in advance. So thank you, Scully, for the proper 199. I appreciate it. TXC Cam says, Jeremy finally acknowledging the Rumble chat. Thank you. Joking tears. Hey, I've been acknowledging you guys a little bit. Okay. Epic Reader says, a member of the 11% tax. Listen, I say this with all love and respect in the chat. Ladies, I have no problem with the ladies letting the chat know you're ladies, but just understand the reaction that's going to happen with that, okay? Because basically, there's going to be some questions. And that's pretty much how it goes around here. So just prepare yourselves. That's all. But thank you. I really appreciate it. Okay. So we do have this interview, this 60 Minutes interview from President Trump. Now, if I go over to the 60 Minutes YouTube channel, I don't know if they've... Oh, there it is. Okay, we've got the whole interview, ladies and gentlemen. We got the whole interview. President Trump's 60 Minutes interview. Is everybody ready to go? It's going to be good. This is going to be good. 40 minutes. The whole thing, President Trump, 60 Minutes. This is after what happened last night, by the way. I've already seen some of the clips. And just so you know, like this is one of the clips right here, okay? Just to show you how this is going to go. Let me unmute it. Here we go. Did you see how she tried to spin this on him and go, oh, you think he's talking about you? Oh, she's terrible, dude. She's a terrible, terrible person. Holy crap. That is unbelievable. The media is the worst. They really are. Man. Scully 450 says, sorry, did not mean to spell your name wrong. It was not intentional. That is okay, because I make so many, I was going to say so many mistakes, and I said so Mimi. I make so many mistakes, including the one I just made, so it works. Whenever you guys mess up the chats, it's right in line with the terrible host of this channel. So now, God dang it. Chat's about, you see what you just created? You see what you just created, Scully? Just Nova 1138 says, from a military standpoint, it's an open and public venue. It wasn't a security breach, but not enough personnel at hotel. What matters is the response from the security, but I eat crayons and could be wrong. Hail the 199. Thank you. I appreciate the perspective on there. Really do. Thank you so much. If I could talk correctly, we could get through this. Candy T with the 11% tax. Thank you, Candy. Oh man, I just deleted somebody's comment. Where was it? 1992 Space Movie says, man, I must be a criminal too, because I crossed like 6 state lines over the past 2 days trucking. I'll wait for my arrest as soon as Jeremy finally reads my damn super chats. Thank you, 1992 Space Movie. Marmillan on Rumble says, Mimi tax. Thank you, Marmillan. I appreciate it. Matt for $13.99 says, D-Day Cobra is a brilliant YouTuber with charisma, sharp humor, and nonstop energy. Every upload feels creative, exciting, and made with care, keeping fans entertained and proud to support the channel. I appreciate this. This doesn't sound like an AI recap at all. This sounds genuine, and I appreciate that, Matt. There is no sarcasm involved in this whatsoever. I don't think. I think you're being very genuine. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Oh, man. Cosmic Cowboy for 20 says, hey, Jeremy, did you see Obama's tweet about the attempt yesterday? It got community noted. Dems have no concept of reality except their own will, never accept culpability for their actions. I did not see that one. So Obama, his got community noted? No way. Is that true? I don't see one unless the community note got removed. Well, that's from 4 hours ago. Are you sure it was Obama? 4 hours ago, he tweeted this. Although we don't have the details about the motives behind last night's shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, it's incumbent upon us to reject the idea that violence has any place in our democracy. Fuck off, dude. Like, I don't believe anything. Benny Johnson has a video on it. Okay, maybe we'll check that out a little bit later. I did not see that at all. But I will look into that. Thank you, Cosmic Cowboy. All right, let's get into this 60 Minutes interview.
60 Minutes overtime.
Mr. President, thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
I'm glad you are safe. I am glad that everyone is safe. How are
Well, she's already started out with a lie. So there you have it.
you doing?
I'm doing well. It was quite an evening. It was a very difficult thing to watch, frankly, but doing very.
Through this what happened last night. But first, this appears to be the third attempted assassination.
I want to give some context before we continue. This is Nora O'Donnell. In the final days of the 2024 presidential campaign, Nora O'Donnell opened her CBS show mad about Trump getting a garbage truck after Biden called Trump supporters garbage. She ran cover for Biden's comment. Let's hear what she has to say.
We are now 6 days out from Election Day. Nearly 60 million votes have already been cast in early in-person voting and through the mail. And the latest polls suggest the race could not be tighter. Both campaigns are locking their
Oh yeah, it was so close, guys. Man, it just couldn't be closer.
focus on the battleground states. Vice President Kamala Harris rallied in North Carolina and Pennsylvania today and is in Wisconsin tonight. Former President Donald Trump was in North Carolina earlier and tonight is also in Wisconsin. He landed in Green Bay just a short time ago and then pulled this campaign stunt, speaking to reporters from a garbage truck. Proof that he and his supporters are giving no grace to a gaffe by President Biden, where he and
a gaffe. There was no gaffe involved. Everybody remembers what Biden said. He straight up said that MAGA was garbage. That's exactly what he said. It was not a gaffe at all.
Proof that he and his supporters are giving no grace to a gaffe by President Biden, where he, in his explanation, inadvertently called Trump supporters garbage. This, of course, was in response to that racist joke about floating garbage told at a Trump rally just last weekend.
Oh, my God. So anyway, there's the context of who this woman is, okay? Just so we can set the table.
On your life, the first in Butler, the second, of course, on the golf course in Florida. Why do you think so many people may be trying to kill you?
So I've said it, and I've said it numerous times, and I've actually, because of the position I'm in, I've done quite a bit of research into the word assassination, terrible word. And they go after consequential presidents. They go after presidents that do things. If you look at what I've done, we've turned this country around. We've taken a country that was actually a dead country. It was dying very rapidly, and it's the hottest country anywhere in the world. We had a skirmish, a war, whatever you want to call it, with Venezuela. We won that very decisively, and we now have a great relationship with Venezuela. It's been a very profitable relationship, and we're in Iran right now. Other presidents should have done it, but they never chose to do it. They should have. They made a terrible mistake by not doing it. It's tougher now than it would have been 10 years ago or even 5 years ago, because they had thousands and thousands of missiles and everything else. If we didn't do the B-2 bomber attack, that alone was a big deal. The killing of Soleimani, which I did in my first term, was a big deal. But when you're a consequential, when you do...
She was trying to interrupt him. You're not going to... Trump determines when the question is asked, not you. But if you heard, she was trying to interrupt him. Not going to work, lady.
So if we didn't do the B-2 bomber attack, that alone was a big deal. The killing of Soleimani, which I did in my first term, was a big deal. But when you're a consequential, when you do things, a lot of things, and things that work out very well for our country, Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. McKinley was assassinated. McKinley made the country.
Zwanny knows what's up. Look at there. Let's freaking go. Begun the Clone Wars has. The Clone War has. Yes, Nips Litter.
Very rich. People don't realize that. Then Teddy Roosevelt went out and spent the money that was made by McKinley, but he was very consequential, actually, but he was assassinated. So
You mentioned, Mr. President, consequential, and your policies are also controversial. Is that part of it?
Well, I don't think that way. I don't think in terms of what they are. I just think of what they are for the country. For instance, I inherited the worst border we've ever had in the history of our country, where 25 million people came in, 25 million people at least. And many of them were from hardcore criminals, and they were drug dealers, and they were from prisons. They emptied out prisons into our country. They emptied out mental institutions, insane asylums into our country. And I don't know if that's controversial to say we have to move those people out, but we have. This
is exactly it. If you've watched enough President Trump interviews, See, a lot of, if you watch Trump enough, like we do here, and if you know, a lot of people watch Trump, and a lot of people get upset because he kind of repeats the same talking points. And if you watch him all the time, then of course you're going to hear the same thing over again. He's doing this intentionally. He is forcing these clowns to listen to all of his accomplishments, because nothing drives them more crazy than to listen to his accomplishments, because they don't like to tell you his accomplishments. They can't stand it. So that's why he continues to say the hottest country anywhere, the same talking points. This is what he does.
Is from the standpoint, you're doing something, and you're doing something that's good. Things like men playing in women's sports, I'm against that. Things like transgender for everyone, I'm against that. There's so many things that I'm against.
Transgender for everyone is the funniest line. He makes it sound like it's like Oprah handing out cars to her audience. Transgender for everyone. You get a trans surgery and you get a trans surgery. Everybody gets a trans surgery.
I don't think they're controversial. I think the other side is controversial, but I do a lot of things and I get things done. And, you know, we're respected now as a country all over the world. And some people love that, but some people probably don't.
Mr. President, I'm sure you've now had the opportunity to see some of the pictures of what happened last night, and I want to walk through that.
Sure.
It was just around 8:30 p.m.
This is actually very interesting stuff, but I do want to say, like, listen, this is not a bad idea, okay? This is a great idea. But fortunately for me, there's a lot of retarded people that hate Trump. So unlike the fake racism that the left pushes, I don't have to invent the fake racist moments to justify all of that. There are plenty of people with TDS, and they have nothing else to do but watch people that love Trump and then cry about those people. It's really amazing. Like, you will never understand how many crazy people that suffer from Trump derangement syndrome are out there. But I would guarantee, how many people are watching right now? We got 3,500 people here. We got another 200 on Rumble, 300 on Rumble. So let's just call it right at 4,000. I would guess 5 to 7% of the people watching this hate Trump because they need Trump's name to be mentioned in whatever they are watching, regardless if it's positive or negative. They need someone to mention Trump in some way, shape, or form because it feeds them. It's the only way they know how to live. So the demand is out there. The supply is out there. So I'm good. I don't have to, create the fake accounts. One day I may have to, but, yeah, that's true. And Jeremy's not that smart. 50 gifted memberships proved that last night. That is very true. It's very true.
I don't like to have a criminal or a sick person or somebody, whoever he is, you'll figure it out. I mean, I think we're already figuring out he's a man with a lot of problems. But you don't want to have somebody like this, essentially attacking our Constitution, attacking our country, changing events that are, it's an important event. It was a
night celebrating the First Amendment and the freedom of the press.
That's right. Exactly. And this was a record setter. I mean, this was a very big, that dinner had some problems for the last 9 years, and I didn't help them. And this time I went, and I felt really good.
I do like the idea that the left says that Donald Trump is stupid, that Donald Trump plans nothing, that Donald Trump doesn't know what he's doing, and he just operates off the seat of his pants every day. So he doesn't plan anything out. On the flip side, they also say that Trump plans these events out, these staged assassinations. They say that he plans them out. Which is it? Either Trump doesn't plan anything out because he doesn't know what he's doing, or he plans these articulate staged assassinations out and it works like perfectly. So which is it? Kind of an interesting dynamic that you've created there.
There was a great camaraderie. I wasn't sure what the response. It was, a lot of press, a lot of media. And when I walked in, I got a very nice applause. I wasn't sure. I said, told my wife, I said, I may walk in and they may give me a hard time, or I may walk in, let's see what happens. And I walked in, they got very nice, I think they were happy to see me there, actually. And I can tell you there's the biggest impact that I saw in the entire evening was, and I say this being somebody that's had a lot of, well, let's say we've argued a little bit to get things that I want done. I fight for a border, and they fight for an open border, and we have a lot of differences.
You've got some tough words for the press in the back.
There was tremendous. By this time the event had taken place, people were starting to feel safe. There was tremendous.
And let's go back to that person in the chat that was crying about Trump, saying, like, oh, what has he accomplished? Clearly a lot, because they're still trying to kill him. If Trump was accomplishing nothing, why are they trying to kill him if he's accomplishing nothing? Again, very much paint yourself in a real corner there. So if Trump has done nothing, why do they want him dead? Why do they want him impeached? Why are they constantly attacking him? Very interesting dynamic.
This camaraderie. I mean, I saw Democrats, I saw senators, I saw congressmen and women. I saw people that weren't necessarily on my side from the other party, mostly. Pretty much the Republicans are on my side, so I'm not that, surprised. And they were going, way to go. There was spirit in that room. I mean, it was like the whole country was together. It was 25 million people came in. I mean, whether it's 20 or 25 or 30, but they say 25 million people came in. 0 people. We have people coming in legally.
Can I ask you something?
But,
You said
but
something.
the other side doesn't like that. There is.
This is so fun to watch. Okay, it's always fun to watch a reporter think that they can control the narrative with Trump, and watching them try to work their way in. You talk when he allows you to talk. Other than that, shut up, silly woman. Okay, simple as that.
Have people coming in legally.
Can I ask you something?
But,
You said
but
something.
the other side doesn't like that. There are things that
She's so pissed. She's so frustrated.
Coming in legally.
Can I ask you something?
But,
You
but
said
the
something.
other side doesn't like that. There are things that I like that I think are very standard. I want women to be able to play women. I don't want men in women's sports. And for whatever reason, the other side likes men in women's sports. So when you say get along,
But that's the other side.
I
That's
don't
not
think
the
I could
press.
ever. No, but I don't think I could ever change my feelings on certain policies. I want strong borders. They want open borders. There's such a difference.
Can I ask you, Mr. President?
I will say this though, after the event, meaning it looked like things were good. We knew he was caught. I was given the information immediately. And there was a camaraderie that you just have not seen in a while. It's very nice to see.
Now you can talk.
President, you, Mr. President. the Vice-
Now you remember, and whenever they do really piss him off, this is what happens right here.
You held on to those documents when you knew the federal government was seeking them and then had given you a subpoena to return them.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Can I talk?
Yeah, what's
You
the
mind?
answer?
Do you mind?
I would like for you to answer the question.
Okay, it's very simple to answer.
That's why I asked it.
It's very simple to. You're a nasty person, I'll tell you.
Can you answer why you
simple.
held on to the
I
documents?
was negotiating.
Vice President. The President, you, Mr. President, the Vice President, the Speaker of the House, the Secretary of State, Secretary Hegseth, almost the entire line of presidential succession was in that ballroom. Who was the designated survivor?
Well, first of all, I have to say, it's not a safe ballroom. I'm building a safe ballroom.
Ooh, Trump is using this to get leverage on what he wants. The best negotiator and the best salesman of all time. Don't you see how he flips that on her? That is Trump. Masterclass, correct.
Who was the designated survivor?
Well, first of all, I have to say, it's not a safe ballroom. I'm building a safe ballroom. And one of the reasons I'm building it is exactly what happened last night. We're building a room right there. If you walk out and move 20 yards to the left, you'll be right at the entrance to the ballroom. And that ballroom is being built on the safest piece of property in this country, probably one of the safest pieces of land in the world. We have.
But that's owned, that's the White House. The White House Correspondents' Dinner can't use White House property.
It's able to be used by certainly the White House. It says the White House Correspondents. Well, that's the White House Press. I'm sure that it's available. You know, it's up to the president, but that would be made available. And this has bulletproof glass. This has, you know, this is the highest level of security. Also, very importantly, I could have built suites on top. I could have done a lot of things. And I said, no, this has to be pure. This has to be where people stay off property and they go through one very impactful, very strong entrance, one very powerful entrance. There's no games with this. This is the best, highest. This has all sorts of security equipment at levels that you could never have in a regular ballroom. And we're ahead of schedule. We're right on budget, ahead of schedule. I wish it could be even.
Let's see here. Hang on. Where'd it go? D-Day Cobra, keep drinking the Kool-Aid. MTG, Jones, Carlson, Kelly, and Rogan have woken up. It's over. Your movement is collapsing. You mean Joe Rogan, the same Joe Rogan that was at the White House last week begging Donald Trump to get things passed for him? That Joe Rogan? That's interesting. I wonder if Joe Rogan agrees with you. That's interesting that Joe Rogan has woken up to Trump, and yet he texts Trump and asks Trump to get things done for him, and then he shows up to the White House and he thanks President Trump. Man. By the way, Kool-Aid's awesome.
Been sooner, but we're, you know, months ahead of schedule. But it doesn't open till 28. So, you know, that means you have another season and a half to go.
Right.
But this is exactly why the military, and this is exactly why Secret Service and all law enforcement want it, because you have maybe 1,000 hotel rooms above the ballroom we were in last night. And I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying in terms of maximum security, it's not the best thing. You can do it, but you can have problems like this. They have an elevator that comes down from the rooms. It's very close to the ballroom.
She is not interested in anything. Listen to how she is not interested, and I think he's picking up on that. But everything he says, she's just trying to work in the next question, or she looks disgusted at everything he's saying.
An elevator that comes down from the rooms. It's very close to the ballroom.
Yeah.
Which makes
she's so pathetic. She's so pathetic.
Makes sense. So we're doing something that's going to have a tremendous impact on solving this problem.
In that video.
Immediately. The doors were sealed, the room was sealed, the ballroom itself, where the people were. And they really, I think they did a great job.
I do think, like, overall, like, bottom line is, yes, I think there was a security failure. I think it's pretty obvious that there was. Yes, he got through that checkpoint that we saw on camera. But the bottom line, and this is what we never have perspective. We only react to what we have. So let me throw a scenario out there to all of you. Let me get her off camera. My God. So anyway, let me throw a scenario to you. What if, this is a hypothetical, what if there was a security breach the day Charlie Kirk was shot and killed, but they tackled the guy before he was able to get the shot that killed Charlie Kirk off? Would you consider it a failure, knowing then what you know now? Would you consider a security failure if Charlie Kirk's life was saved? Because the bottom line is no one was hurt. No one was hurt. No one was killed. So let's have some perspective. Yes, security failure happened, but no one was killed. And I wish we could have said the same thing about the day that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. I wish we could say there was a security breach. We need to look into it, but thank God everybody's okay. I wish we could say that, and we can't, unfortunately.
People were. And they really, I think they did a great job.
I was in the room, not far from
Yeah.
you, Mr. President, could hear what sounded like gunshots or commotion.
Right.
People nearby could smell the gunpowder. Everybody hit the floor. There were a number of people who were very, very scared.
Yeah.
How worried were you that there were going to be injuries?
I wasn't worried. I understand life. We live in a crazy world.
Elite Super Grunt says, Jeremy, shut up. You don't know anything about how we work. I'll have you know that I served 4 tours in Black Ops. I was called back up for Black Ops 2, and that was after multiple tours of Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2. So I kind of know what I'm talking about.
You can really enhance your chances of having a perfect situation, but sometimes things will happen. I did want to see what was happening because, the president, in one way, I guess I should be hiding, and another way, I want to see if I can be helpful. But I did watch because I could see what was going on at the door. I also saw a lot of very strong, physically strong, really attractive law enforcement people come through those doors.
Why did Trump say really attractive? Why? Why did Trump say that?
Really attractive law enforcement people come through those doors. And frankly, it made me feel very safe, very, very safe. There was nobody going to get by them. And this was at the very back of the ballroom, looking at the back of the ballroom. Big
The
room.
counter assault team.
Yeah, they were very impressive. I think they were very impressive. I think the whole operation was very impressive. The only thing you could say is maybe they could move that counterpoint out deeper. In other words, move it to the outside of the building.
Let's talk about that. Mr. President, I wonder how much has
I will say, for my memeing about serving in Black Ops, I just want everybody, obviously, I have nothing but respect for the military, law enforcement, first responders, all of that, because they're brave enough to do a job that I was not brave enough to do. So just memes, nothing but respect for actual military members that have served our country and given us the freedoms that we have.
the Secret Service and the FBI briefed you about this suspect, Cole Thomas Allen. Have you read what a senior U.S. official is describing to us as a manifesto?
Yeah.
Did you know that he emailed it to family members?
We found all of that
before,
out this morning.
right before the attack.
Yeah, we found that out
Scary
this
stuff,
morning.
man.
The family members were concerned. I think the brother called up the police. I think the sister may have called the police. The parents were rather devastated. He lived with the parents. I saw the parents last night on television opening the door. I assume that was his parents. Look, you have sick people, and you have to mitigate the risk. But some of these sick people, it's amazing. They're very sick, but they're also, in some cases, very, very smart. He went to great school. I can tell you the person in Butler, I don't know if you ever looked at his academic credentials. He had almost 1,600 in his college boards. 1,600. Nobody has. I mean, it's the upper 99.9 percentile or something. And he was a crazy person, but a smart, crazy person. I think the law enforcement did a great job last night.
I will continue to say this. House of Cards is extremely accurate, except for the final season. If you've never watched it, watch House of Cards. Every single day, it gets more and more accurate. Just skip the final season completely. Don't watch it. It's you trust me. Do not watch the final season. If you were ever going to listen to my opinion on any television series, if you've never seen House of Cards, watch it until the final season. Don't even watch a trailer for the final season.
Ask you.
I guess if they didn't, I wouldn't be here. But I think they really did a great job. Mm-hmm. Now, can you make adjustments? I mean, we're also learning. Can you make adjustments? I think the only adjustment would be you move your security equipment further away, but it was about 50 yards away. 50 yards is a lot of yards. Now, when a guy's running at that speed, he was a very fast person. And he got him by a little bit by surprise, but that didn't matter because he was totally subdued. Take a baseball team that won the game 18-0 and say they should have played better. Those guys did a good job last night. They did a really good job. Now, do they make adjustments? They do. They learn. They make adjustments. We're living in a different world with the internet than we had years ago. But even years ago, it was very dangerous. I mean, just ask Honest Abe Lincoln. Pretty dangerous. And but we are living a very, the internet, I think maybe more than anything else, it's radicalized some people. It's made people mentally sick. It's also a great thing. It's a phenomenal thing. With a leader in it, with a leader in AI, it's a great thing, but you'll always find problems. But it's a different age. It's a very different kind of king. I get it. I don't laugh. I see these no kings, which are funded just like the Southern Law was funded. You saw all that. Southern Law is financing the KKK and lots of other radical, terrible groups. And then they go out and they say, oh, we've got to stop the KKK. And yet they give them hundreds of thousands and even millions of dollars. It's a total scam run by the Democrats. It shows you that, like Charlottesville was all funded by the Southern Law. That was a Southern Law deal too. And it was done to make me look bad, and it turned out to be a total fake. It basically was a rigged election.
Dude, I gotta say, so we're 24 minutes into this. We had about 15 minutes left. This is one of the best Trump interviews I've seen in a long time. He is 100% on point. And he knew exactly what was going to happen here. He is destroying her. And it's not like he went in there with the mindset to destroy her. He went in there and he's been doing the typical Trump talking points. Oh, we're the hottest country. Oh, we've stopped this. We've done that. And her mannerisms, you could tell in the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you could tell how dismissive she was, how annoyed she was, how she wasn't interested in anything he had to say, how she kept rolling her eyes. And he picked up on that. And now he's full on defensive Trump, or I guess offensive Trump. He's counterpunching now. This is classic Trump right here.
It's a part of the rigging of the election. And that's what you really should be doing. I mean, I hope one of your 60-minute episodes, which really hasn't changed very much from the last few years, I'm surprised, but one of those episodes should be on Southern Law and the fact that they spent millions and millions of dollars on absolute far right and just bad groups. And then they'd use those groups and they'd say, these are Republican groups and we're coming to your rescue. And they
somebody says you got to be insecure to worship this guy. I am 100% insecure. Like, I'm probably the most insecure person you'll ever meet. It's the most insecure. I mean, I don't have any security at all. I'm very much don't know how to talk to people. I'm nervous on stream. I'm still too scared to do a stream on the internet because I'm scared the internet's gonna be mad at me. So I don't want to be made fun of. And so one of these days, I hope to get the courage to do a stream. But I feel like the chat's going to just call me names and call me gay, and I just can't deal with that. I don't have any security to deal with the internet being mean to me. So that's why I just hide in a corner and I wear a MAGA hat and cry myself to sleep every night. And yeah, like, see, the chat's saying I wear Crocs. I do wear Crocs. Damn it. I should have never said anything. Now I'm getting all emotional. I don't know what to do. I just want to get super chats. All right, let's go.
They're the ones that have funded it, and they're the ones that keep them going. Pretty sad. Do you think it's pretty sad, Nora?
The allegations and the indictment
They're
laid
not just
out
allegations.
It's an indictment
These
laid
are
out by
facts, okay? These are facts. I mean, they have checks to the Ku Klux Klan and many others, and then they're saying how bad they are and blaming the Republican Party and Republicans. These are not just allegations, but go ahead.
Well, as you know, sir, you've been accused of things and were able to go to a court of law and adjudicate them. So
Yeah,
allegations and indictments.
After 5 years, it takes you about 5 years.
I do want to talk about that.
Well,
And
I've
you
also won a lot of money from fake news media.
A lot of money.
Where they write falsely about me, and not that I want to sue people because I don't. But I bring lawsuits against the fake news. I brought lawsuits against your network, and you paid me $38 million because you did something that was so horrible with Kamala. You put an answer down that wasn't responsive to the question because her real answer was so bad, it was election threatening.
Dude, Trump is cooking. He is cooking so much. Fire emojis in the chat. Trump is cooking.
You put an answer down that wasn't responsive to the question because her real answer was so bad, it was election threatening. And you paid me a lot of money. You tried to pull one off. It was terrible. It was a terrible thing that you did. And, when you say, can we all get along? You can, but when people do things like that.
She's trying to interrupt
the BBC,
him.
where the BBC has me, actually AI, they have me saying a horrible statement.
Yeah.
I said, I never said that. It turned out they gave me a little AI treatment where they have my lips speaking words of hate, tremendous hate that I never said. They don't know what to do. They've admitted they're wrong. They just don't know what to do. They actually have me making a major statement. And it wasn't me. It was my face. It was my lips. My lips were perfectly in sync with the words. I said, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. So
I hear you, Mr. President.
so then when you say, can you get along?
Shut up,
I
woman.
can get along with anybody, but if people are going to cheat, if people are going to be fake, you sort of don't want to get along.
Listen, Nora, it's real simple.
Oh, shut up, silly woman.
Shut up. Let the Don talk. When the Don says you can talk, you may speak. Until then, shut up, silly woman.
What do you say to people who are encouraging political violence or even cheering it on?
Well, I think the ones that are doing
The fact that she's asking him this question, this is the same retardation as, will you denounce white supremacy? He's denounced white supremacy more than any president in history. Somebody in my chat said this a couple weeks ago, but he's denounced white supremacy more than all presidents combined have denounced white supremacy. And yet they still ask him, will you denounce white supremacy? Like, it's just ridiculous.
that are much more far left than far right, much more. When you see, again, Southern law, when you see some of the statements that are made that are so, even when you say no kings, that's encouraging. You're saying one of the things this guy said in his manifesto, which you didn't read, you should have, is that he attended a no kings rally along with not too many people. And probably it had an impact. They get up and they say whatever they want. No, I'm against that.
He said, along with not too many people. What does that even mean, Trump? Along with not too many people. That's Trump's way of saying that there wasn't a big turnout.
I think it's terrible. I think the fact that I've accomplished so much, I've made our country great again. I mean, this country was dead. Our country was dead. A year and a half ago, sleepy Joe Biden had no idea what he was doing. I don't think it was him either. I think it was the people that surround him in the Oval Office at the beautiful Resolute desk. I don't think he knew what he was doing. He didn't sign anything. He used the auto pen to sign 90% of the things. I think that they they really created a tremendous amount of anger and hate. Our country was dead, and now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. No, not even close.
Last night,
As an example, investments in our country for 4 years, less than $1 trillion under Biden. In 11 months, $18 trillion under Trump. Now, most people are happy about that, but some people are really angry about it. You know why? Because it means we should be around for a long time, and they don't want that to happen.
last night you had very much a tone of unity when you were in the White House press briefing room.
I think so, yeah. I think I really felt very calm. I feel very calm, and I feel very calm right now, other than a couple of your questions, which are meant to antagonize and totally inappropriate. But I feel very calm.
Mm-hmm.
I thought last night was a very important thing to do, and people have said I did it well. Not an easy thing to do. You know, you leave a scene like that, and then you're supposed to let our country and even the world know that it's going to be okay.
And what about when we're talking about the division in this country, the political violence? Now many of your cabinet secretaries live on military bases. in order to, because of the potential threats against them?
Well, they choose to. I'm not sure that they need to. They also have nice places, you know. Democrats did the same thing. Some of the housing on the military bases is very nice. I'm not sure they do it necessarily for violence, but probably it's not the worst thing in the world. Look, we are consequential. This is a consequential presidency. I have a great cabinet, and they do things that are very good. But some people, you know, if they're good for us, they're not good for other people. Like, as an example, Iran, they're not going to have a nuclear weapon. They will not have. They're not going to blow up the world. They're crazy. They're not going to blow up the world. And therefore, they're not happy. And when they're not happy, people do things that are violent. Now, I'm not tracing anything back to them, but certainly if they had a shot, they'd probably take it. So when you're a consequential president, or if you have a consequential administration, things happen that wouldn't happen if you're Sleepy Joe Biden. Everyone was happy with Biden. The world was happy. You know why they were happy? Because they were taking advantage of us.
Yep.
Because they treated the United States like we were stupid people, and they made a lot of money, but they don't do that anymore.
Last night was going to be your first attendance at the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
That's right.
As president.
I was looking forward to making a speech.
And
it would have been a lot different had I gone up, and had I stayed. It was very interesting because I said, I can't make that speech. I was going to do a pretty
tell me
rip-roaring. I won't go into the total details, but no, I was going to hit people really hard with humor. In other words, really hard with humor. And I thought it was good. When this happened, and I wanted it to go forward, because I just didn't want it canceled by a crazy person. Our country's too good for that. Our country's too important for that, and too powerful for that. I didn't want that to happen. But I said to him, and I thought it would go up. I was expecting until the last moment when the military came, and Secret Service and law enforcement.
Why did they say you couldn't go back when you were saying, I want to go back?
Because
common sense
we had a
woman.
very sealed room. It was very airtight. Once the door,
The media wanted nothing more for Trump to go back so they could say that he was putting everyone in danger with his ego. They're disappointed that he didn't go back because they wanted to build that narrative. Like, what a stupid question to ask. What in the hell is wrong with these people?
doors opened, and the Secret Service, military, others came in. The police came in, the law enforcement. They came in, a lot of them. We had a lot of law enforcement, and it was a wall. But the doors were open. It was breached by them. If somebody happened to slip in, and when they said that, I said, you're right. But I did want to go up. But it would have been a much different speech. I would have had to just get up and say, I love you all. And there was love in the room. It was amazing. There was love in the room.
And why do you think that is? Why do you think that the tone changed?
People came together. Democrats that truly can't stand me were saying, sir, could I just shake your hand? I mean, I'm leaving, and I'm seeing people, you know, high-level people. And they're saying, sir, great job. Sir, could I, one of them, I don't want to, you probably have it on tape someplace. One of them said, could I hug you? A big politician on the other side. There was love. It just all came together. It was very amazing to see. It was a very beautiful thing in a non-beautiful moment, really, but it was a very beautiful thing that was happening.
I hesitate to ask you about this, but as you know, these conspiracy theories out there on the left and the right, that the event was staged or that it didn't happen.
Last night didn't happen?
That it was because it was your first time there, or that Butler didn't happen. These conspiracy theories that are gaining traction on the internet.
October 7th didn't happen, and World War II didn't happen, and the Holocaust didn't happen, and many things didn't happen. Yeah, no, I hear it. I don't know. I think they're more sick than they are con people, but there's a lot of con in it too. I haven't heard that last night didn't happen. What usually it takes a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Usually they wait about 2 or 3 months to start saying that.
I think and forgive me, I don't peddle in that stuff or certainly look at it because I was there. But the idea, I'm wondering where this is coming
That'd be
from.
a tough one, I think.
This is coming from.
I think that'd be a tough sell.
Yeah. Secret Service now is currently meeting, as they always do, to discuss your security footprint. The King is coming here, King of England.
I think it's great. He'll be very safe. Yeah.
Yeah. And
You know,
will
the
your
White
events be
House
able to
grounds-
go forward? You're no concerns about security going
No,
forward?
the White House grounds are really safe.
Mhm.
This area of not very many acres, it's really safe. And he'll be staying here now. I believe he's going to a couple of other locations because he's here for a few days. He's a great guy. Oh, they called and they are so looking forward to being here.
Mhm.
We spoke this morning.
So the king is fine. He's still coming. Your events are still going
No,
forward.
he's a good person.
There's no
friend of mine.
indication from the Secret Service or the FBI that there's an additional threat to you or other administration officials?
No. This was a lone wolf, in my opinion. Now, we may find out something else. This was a sick lone wolf. He's a sicko and very disturbed person. You could see it with his journey through life. I mean, he was a Christian. He was a member of the Christian club at his college, Caltech, which is a good college. I'm sure they're very embarrassed by this because, it's a great college. So that means he's pretty smart to be in. You got to get pretty good marks, got to get pretty good board scores. It's a hard school to get into. So he's a smart guy, but he's a sick guy.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, it would be a lot easier if they weren't smart. Some of them are very smart. And they go around and all they want to do is kill people. They're sick and they have to be put away.
I understand today is the First Lady's birthday. Is that right?
Today's her birthday, yes. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Melania. Today's her birthday.
How does
I
that,
wish it was
how do you
interesting.
deal with that
Well,
after,
it's-
after what happened last night?
Yeah, by the time we get back here, it's like around 12 o'clock. And I said, happy birthday, darling.
And you were back here in the White House, I understand, in 5 minutes.
Well, they move fast, yeah.
Yeah, they moved
I
fast.
mean, look, it's a pretty quick drive. It's not very far away.
Mhm.
But think of it, the security of having this really perfect facility built at the highest security levels on the grounds where you're not taking, I'm talking about any president. By the way, other presidents will use the ballroom a lot more than me. I'm going to have 4 or 5 months left, but other presidents will be having the that tremendous asset is going to be so great. But outside of that, it's dangerous. You need
Don't say that, Trump. Don't say you have 4 or 5 months left once it's done. You're going to have 4 years and 5 months left because 2028 will be happening.
tremendous that you could never build. You can't have thousands of rooms on top of a ballroom and have security, real security. Now, with that being said, I hope they do this event again, and I hope they do it again.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much.
So that's the end of it right there. Damn good interview. And Trump was cooking there towards the middle. That was very, very good. From his perspective, she's a piece of garbage. And she tried to build narratives. She tried to interrupt. She tried to, paint things in a certain way, but he's just not going to let that happen. He controls every single situation he's in. And it's funny to watch some of these leftist reporters try and control him. It's not going to happen. And so he was at 100% on point with that one, made her look stupid. And she tried to get her sound bites. She tried to get her moments and who got the moments? Trump got the moments. And so it's a complete and total backfire. Beautiful job by President Donald Trump. So good stuff right there. Alan says the hottest Trump accomplishment tax. Oh, this is where the memes were dropping on the accomplishments. Trump accomplishment tax. Moron in the chat tax. No accomplishments tax. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate all the memes. Marmillan with the accomplishment tax. And thank you to everybody here. We've got a ton of people watching tonight, and we had a huge stream last night. I really appreciate you guys being here. I try to go live. If I'm not live every day, I at least try to go live Monday through Friday. Sometimes I miss Tuesdays because of Tuesday night's main event. And then I try to hit the weekends at least one day on the weekend. And sometimes I'm live 2 times per day on this channel. So I really appreciate it. And it's kind of sporadic. Sometimes I'm reacting to breaking news. Sometimes I'm covering other stuff going on. So, but thank you guys for all the new viewers and the new supporters. Greatly appreciated. It's amazing. It's good stuff. JDT says, I watch this channel because Jeremy never talks about politics. This is true. I never talk politics. I just think politics are divisive, and I don't really want to upset anyone. I just want to create a positive community where there's no insults, there's no shit talking. It's just, singing songs, holding hands, and celebrating and being nice to each other. This is the type of community that I am looking to cultivate around here. Marmilla says, I've been watching you for years, Jeremy. Never once did you mention that you wear Crocs, worked in retail, or have forklift certification. Let's fucking go. Incoherent Name says, false flag ops don't leave the patsy alive to be questioned. You call these retards. You can call these retards. You could tell that they just learned the term false flag without any understanding of how they ran. Well, it's an NPC download. That's essentially what it is. They hear false flag. They don't know what false flag means, but they just repeat it because they're told to repeat it. And we have Zwani5 has now entered the chat, something about leaning into it. There you have it right there. Beckonator Play says, what did Trump accomplish? Here's one small one. He killed ISIS. I mean, let's not forget the border being completely shut down. Like, what are we talking about? That Trump, like, I question if when someone asks the question, and this is why I don't take these things seriously, if you're legitimately coming into my chat and honestly asking me what has Trump accomplished, you've already proven you're too stupid to talk to. Because you're getting information from places that are lying to you. You may not like Trump. That's fine. You don't have to like him. But to just say flat out that he's accomplished nothing means you are an idiot and that you are too stupid to even try to spend any time on right there. It's absolutely insane that people are that stupid. 15 Hertz says Trump's accomplishment, making people upset tax. Damn right. Graham Robbins says, attractive Secret Service tax. Thank you. Patty on Rumble says, maybe they applauded him because they knew what was about to happen. We don't hate the legacy media enough. Agreed, Patty. Thank you for the $10 Rumble wrap. Kenny Curvecock for 10 says, congrats on the ratio of Dave Meltzer on X. Can't believe that pussy then blocked you. What a retarded weak man. Let's talk about that really quickly. So for those that don't know, there is a guy, a wrestling journalist named Dave Meltzer. If you are a wrestling fan if you're involved in the IWC at all, the internet wrestling community, then you know who Dave Meltzer is, okay? You just know. So I don't follow Dave Meltzer. I don't pay attention to Dave Meltzer, whatever, okay? But I saw a tweet from Dave Meltzer today, and I had to respond to it because Dave Meltzer made one of the worst takes I've ever seen. And hang on. Hang on. I got to address this really quick because this is a serious topic right here. Hang on. Did I say the R word? Oh my God. Did I really say the R word, chat? Oh my God. Oh no. Did I really say? I didn't mean to say that. If that really happened, it is probably a slip up. So yeah, I in no way, shape, or form meant to say the R word if that actually happened. I am such a retard. I can't believe I said it. I am so retarded. I would never use the R word. I am not retarded enough to use the R word. I would never say that. My gosh, guys, I am so sorry. I never want to offend anyone. So I apologize for being a retard, but I will not say the R word again. If I do say the R word again, please call me retarded on Twitter. Thank you guys for your support. That was tough. That was tough to get through. I'm a little shaken up right now. I'm a little emotional. I'm a little emotional. Okay. I'm a little emotional. I'm a little on edge. Okay. Need to find my safe space. I just, I didn't mean to. And I'm going to show this really quick because there's
Donald J. Trump is now president of the United States. President
What a great honor to be able to introduce for the first time ever anywhere the 45th President of the United States of America, Donald Trump. With a gracious aid.
I am so sorry to my world. I am so sorry to my world. This is not what we want.
We will face challenges.
There's so much potential
but we will get the job done.
for beauty and for devastation. In this one moment, it's just almost incomprehensible that they can exist right now. So,
and we are grateful
so
to
close.
President Obama.
I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, memeage over. So let's get back to Dave Meltzer. Dave Meltzer, and thank you for the $50, back-to-back $50 super chats. Okay, so Dave Meltzer, who is a wrestling journalist, he's been around forever, all right? Now, there's a Hulk Hogan documentary out on Netflix. I just finished watching it last night. It's fantastic, by the way. If you haven't seen it yet, I recommend it. It's a 4-part miniseries. It's really good, docu-series, I should say. And it's really good. It's really well done. I was a little skeptical as to how it would be, if it would be good, but it turned out to be really good. So Dave Meltzer responds to this tweet right here. And this person is basically saying that there's no denying that Hulk Hogan is the most important and biggest pro wrestler ever. Without him, the business does not expand the way it did in the 80s. Like the rest of us, he had his flaws, but at the same time, so Dave Meltzer responds to this and says, there were several wrestlers who are more important, but I think he'd be top 6 in that category, maybe higher. Dave Meltzer said Hulk Hogan might be in the top 6 of most important wrestlers ever. What? So I responded and I said, Hulk Hogan is the most important wrestler ever. There's no debate here. You're just retarded. Using that R word again. But I ratioed the living fuck out of him and he blocked me. So this kind of created a discussion, on social media with a lot of people, but I don't think that there's a discussion at all. Well, actually, it's not that I think. There is no discussion, period. Hulk Hogan changed wrestling forever. Now, let me put this into perspective because I got a lot of responses to this. And I responded to people. So Dave Meltzer blocked me. So posted that there. But I mean, you've got to find, I got to find one of these replies because right here, Gary said, our boy right here, like, come on, man. Now I know he's trolling. Okay. I know Spoons is trolling, but, Undertaker and Austin would like a word. Stop it, bro. Stop it. Stop. So I said, Austin is my all-time favorite wrestler. You can't possibly be dumb enough to believe him or Taker is more important to the professional wrestling business than Hogan. Now, Gary responds, says WWE, WWF isn't the empire it is today without Hulk. End of discussion. That being said, Taker or Piper were probably my favorite. Austin may be the GOAT. Okay, so I responded, Austin is the GOAT. He didn't have as long of a run as others because of injuries, but his peak and cultural impact will never be matched. Okay. So Austin is the GOAT, but Hulk Hogan is the central most important wrestler in history. There is no debate for that. You can bring up Bruno Sammartino. You can bring up all of these old school legends that laid the groundwork. And I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong for that because you're not wrong. There's a lot of legends that laid the foundation. Andre the Giant, Lou Thez. You can bring a ton of people up that are great names throughout history. Ric Flair is obviously a name that I put at the very top of any list. But when you're talking about the most important wrestler to ever live, Hulk Hogan is undeniably the single most important name in history. That is not up for debate. So Dave Meltzer got mad, and Dave Meltzer, because I ratioed him, I don't respond to Dave Meltzer. I don't really know much about, I know of Dave Meltzer. I've known of him for years. I know, I've heard of, all of his takes, his 5-star matches and all that bullshit, but he's not someone I follow. He's not someone I interact with. He has a love-hate relationship with Hogan. He has a love-hate relationship with Vince. But Meltzer is just a retard. So, but anyway, this was a pretty funny interaction. And it has opened the discussion that, we have to have a wrestling stream on Geeks and Gamers. That has to happen. Okay. One of my responses was right here. So right here, somebody said, the issue isn't so much better. Everyone knows Hulk wasn't the most technically gifted wrestler, but it was his charisma and persona that capitulated pro wrestling into the mainstream in the 80s. Austin might be the only one comparable in terms of cultural influence. And I said, Austin is the biggest star within the world of wrestling, keyword within. No one has ever or will ever reach his peak. He's also far more respected within the industry, but Hogan transcended the business. He took it mainstream to mainstream heights that no other person can touch. Everyone, including Austin, has the money and the fame they have because of Hogan. There you have it right there. So just wanted to point out that discussion did happen. And, everybody was talking about how I was ratioing Meltzer. I kept retweeting it. D-Day Cobra just ratioed the F out of Meltzer. Boom. Stone Cold Stunner. D-Day Cobra just ratioed the holy hell out of Meltzer. Meltzer getting felted by D-Day Cobra wasn't on my bingo card. So it's been a fun day to watch all of those reactions right there. So anyway, that's what that was all about. So thank you, Kenny. I appreciate it, man. Marmellon says, I thought you were talking about the hard R. Was going to say you're not in traffic. YouTube was blocking this. That's why you guys are over there on Rumble, because it's easier to super chat on Rumble and they don't block you. I appreciate the support on whatever platform you're on, okay? So I'm not telling you where you have to go. You can go wherever the hell you want. Scully says emotional support tax. Thank you. Nandy says Trump accomplishments, lowest border encounters in 50 years. Oof. 3 million deportations. First president to have crime fall year over year by 20% per Axios. And Axios is a leftist site, so it's probably even more. Oil control, 11% increase in tax return, just to name a few. Site teams, I'm still watching this on Mixer right now. I did not get a Mixer contract. Thank you, Nandy. Hail to you. Nandy, again, Trump accomplishments part 2. Lowest inflation since 2022 in February 2026. 2.4 inflation was 0.9%. Close to 1 million jobs created in the private sector. Mortgage rates fell under 6%. A 4-year low, lowest fentanyl deaths recorded. Took out terrorists and ended 8 wars. 8 wars. Ninja did get the bag on Mixer, but I did not. But thank you, Nandy. And he ended the console wars too. He ended the console wars. Know what I mean? That's the one war I wish he would not have ended. That bothers me. That we need the console wars. That is something we need more of. Mike Zero Source says, Jeremy, if you had to endorse Mike Zero or the quartering, who would you choose? Mike Zero. Mike Zero at this point. The Keno Casino has changed my view. Okay? Keno Casino. They have completely brainwashed me. I am brainwashed by Keno Casino. Hail to the casino always wins. Get that one clipped out for the boys. Keno Casino brainwashed me. Quartering bad. You're welcome. Whoa, buddy. Becker says, if John Roberts was able to park on the garage without screening, what's to stop someone from parking a van with explosives there? That is true. That is true. That's scary, man. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered about all of that. I'd support Vince Russo. Good old Vince Russo. Whoa, buddy tax. Okay. Keenan, did you see the Jay and Silent Bob reboot? Jay and Silent Bob reboot? You mean like the third Jay and Silent Bob? Or wait a minute, not the third. Oh, that's Clerks 3. I don't know, man. I'm a little fuzzy on Kevin Smith's work. I love original Kevin Smith's work, like Clerks 1, Clerks 2, Chasing Amy, Dogma, Mall Rats. I love all those movies. But Kevin Smith has lost me in the last decade. I don't know what Kevin Smith's up to. So I don't know if I've seen the Jay and Silent. I don't even know if I know about that one. And then Clerks 3, I kind of think I watched Clerks 3, but I don't remember being too plugged into it. I can't really remember. So I don't know. I've completely out of touch with what Kevin Smith is doing in the last decade. Jay and Silent Bob reboot was 2019 movie that is woke. Okay, there you go. Man, old school Kevin Smith, legendary. I love Clerks 2. Love Clerks 2. One of my all-time favorite comedies. Tay says, hail everyone. Get those gifted memberships earlier. Greatly appreciated that. Packy Proton said, it's alive. He's alive when God created Trump. Stormbreaker says, all hail Cobra Commander Jeremy and King Trump. Packy Proton says, you somehow lost my $10 super chat yesterday and didn't finish reading it. Isn't that worth 10 gifties? 10? I don't know about that now. Maybe 5. Heel Refs says, the grift goes on Sunday stream tax. Keenan says, did you see the movie Taking Lives? Taking Lives. Has that got Angelina Jolie in it? Taking Lives. Isn't that Angelina Jolie, if I'm not mistaken? Southeastern Kaiju says, USA has a king. USA needs a king. Long live Trump. Am I right about that? Yes. I don't think I've seen it, but I do remember it being advertised, but I don't think I've seen it. Packet Proton says, did I see right that Nerdrotic won the Starfleet Academy captain's chair? Donate to CobraCast. You guys really want me to get that Cobra throne. Zinni Biscuit says, what I've heard, Ukraine is bringing in Africans due to labor shortages there. Brace yourselves for 12 years a slave. Mono King says, bro, I was twerking to that intro like crazy. Daniel Moore with the salute. Thank you. Debase Wizard says, old CobraCast to help the last 2 hours of work go by. Chad says, I've been a member for almost a year and like to say thanks for helping it get through some tough times. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Let me see. Jeremy really does care. Do I? I don't know. What are we talking about? I don't know what we're talking about. I probably don't, though. Mr. Bentham says, my go-to channel tax. Make sure to read that right. Never going to live that one down. Lapco over on Rumble says, people calling Jeremy insecure have lost the plot. Jer gets to snuggle up to Beardo every night. Who have you got? No one, losers. That is awful. That is awful. Why did you say that? Lapco says, just supporting the mentally disabled. If everyone did this, the world would be a better place. Well, I agree with that. Fantastic vs. Knox with a gifted membership. Thank you. Daniel Morris says, as a sign of a good father, as a sign of a good father, no joke. Oh, my comments earlier. Thank you. Debate Wizard says, Ryan gets Molly whopped, huh? Checks out. I didn't mean to put Ryan's secret out there that he has that when he goes to the gay club, they refer to his forehead as the landing pad. I don't know. Look, man, it might just be a joke about a big forehead. I'm not implying that anything is landing or anything like that on the pad. I don't know the specifics. I don't want to think about it. It's not something I'm interested in thinking about. I'm just telling you guys what I heard, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay. So, Pippi Bird says the concert has made it traffic and Ubers a nightmare this weekend. Eric says, I hope I haven't stirred any trouble. We don't want a hoot, nannies or dust up. You did nothing of the sort. Little Jim Taylor says, stop Asian profiling. John Jones says, Donald Trump set yet another record last night. Most assassination attempts on a U.S. president. Daniel Moore says, just a week ago, a priest in my country prayed for God to take Donald J. Trump. Eerie stuff. Of course, the bishop did nothing about a priest wishing for that. That's crazy. Darth Cornpop says, leftoids, we need to 8647 to take our country back. Also leftoids. Someone tried to 8647. Trump, totally not staged. Welcome to the world of the left. These people are nuts. Munchie Ninja says his manifesto said all members of the administration accept cash. Tribuco says false flag tax. Lapco says, speaking of last night, here's another 500. I'm going to go broke at this rate, but you deserve it, man. This just shows how much I respect you. Lapco with a 500. Oh, Lapco with a $5. Thanks. Hail to you, brother. Liquid Richard says, I love how it's fake and staged like Trump had convinced a crazy leftist to do this. Grandis Potato says, do you still support Trump tax? Steelstorm Gaming says, I've been watching you for years, Jeremy. Are you still gay? Packy Proton says, Red Mage drove 4 hours to Chiller. Damn. Is Red Mage still driving, by the way? I hope so. Carl says, stupid question tax. JRG Project says, these paid foreign trolls are probably funded by the Southern Poverty Fraud Center. If you are not American, you should not be active in our policies. Is it, how do you say that? Smots says, been watching you for years. Have you ever worked retail? Mark Andre Rez says, this is pro-Trump political channel. Hard to tell. It is tough to tell. I'm trying to make it a little more obvious that I am a Trump supporter, because a lot of people are just like, does this guy support Trump? I can't tell. I've got to be a little more, open about the fact that I support Trump. So I'm going to work on that, guys. I'm going to work on it. Chad says, are the no security at train stations or metal detectors? John Jones says, I might be done with Twitter with the retard, right, taking over. They're indistinguishable from the left, and it feels like Dorsey Twitter again. I mean, yeah, like I don't tweet a whole lot anymore. Twitter has become a very annoying place to have interactions with, but I do follow a lot of news on Twitter, so I'm always there scrolling, but interacting, I don't do that a lot. But ratioing Meltzer was pretty awesome. Objectively, a cat says, wait, this isn't the Rand Paul fan club, unsubbed. Eddie says, TDS is out of control. Also been watching you for 4 years. I would know you give 45-47 head if given the opportunity. Dragon, says, Trump needs it to build the big balls so he can swing it to the left and right. We got big balls, ACDC. JRL says, hi, Jeremy. Have you checked out the video game music tournament yet? Enjoying your stream and have a blessed evening. We did talk about it. Me and the guys did talk about it, because you had brought up on main event, so that created a discussion for us. Zero says, thanks for the memes. Granite Potato says, so Mimi died like a dog. Zinni Biscuit says, I'll say it. Cavill is overrated. Give me a man like Washington or Reagan. They are looking fine on a horse. Packy Proton says, Zwani 5 is alive. Mod Eric says, she looks like she never had an O in her life. Tay with $1. Thank you, Disinfected Scientists. Says, imagine having an IQ as to write T-Rump seriously. I know. Mod Eric says, stop being 8 wars is not a bad thing. Chad says, Stinky D24 IDOT tax. Philip Johnson says, winning all 7 swing states accomplishment tax. Disinfected Scientists seriously got that. Seriously writing T-Rump. Is that what it is? They call it T-Rump. Is that how they say that? Who is this person? 85. Suspect says accomplishment tax. By the way, where's the MLK bus? Is that what you're asking? Truck? Rob says Stinky D tax. Stream Hero says Trump upset your dumbass tax. Jeremy is smart tax. Grandest Potatoes says I'm one of Jeremy's fake accounts tax. Becca Nader says, Jeremy doesn't need a fake account to grift. He just tells us to give him money and our dumbasses do it. That made me laugh. Stream Mirror says, Jeremy's IQ is 199. He's a very high IQ individual. Steel Leg of History says, grape Kool-Aid tags. MAGA Mike says, I kind of want Trump to be king now. I don't like how he has to deal with these ghoulish, evil people. He deserves way better. We don't deserve him. I agree. Brad says, braid zone tax. Not tax, but for the win. Thank you. Beardo Fat for $1. I don't know what this says, but 64% of liberals are on some kind of mental illness medication. Plenty of sickos for the Dems to use as fodder to attack President Trump. I agree. Peter Constable says late to stream. Also, Beardo Fat. Pookieman says Trump confirmed first by Prez. Dems are now phobic. Mod Eric says Beardo says watch the final season of House of Cards first. Shit. Introverts United says, wait, you guys got Kool-Aid? Zero says, why don't you tell me, Nora? MAGA Mike says, King Trump 2028. Chad says, he's an emperor. Just a dude on a phone says, too insecure for a wrestling stream. Philip says, attractive, cheap, bastard insecurity tax. Zero says, bring back J-Cast, Beardo Fat. Suggan says, head chef Trump tax. Teresa says, not too many people tax. Tay-Tay says, hail to the Rumble chat. You guys are insane, dude. Mike Zero Source says, breaking news, the Quartering has admitted that he can do a Cheerio without breaking it. I don't want to think about that. Peter says, you know what? F it. Trump 2044. F everyone else. Zero says, how come there's no G&G Daily on Wednesday? I know they need a day off, but Rockin', Ryan Kennel, and the Outlaw Jay David are the S-tier team. Yeah, we just don't have a G&G Daily on Wednesday. We just don't think we don't have anybody that's worth being on the show anyway. So we don't do a Wednesday Daily. Centurion says, just when Savant is announced to get released. Fantastic Knox says, I wonder what happened to that person who yelled no after Trump won the election. If it's as if that person disappeared. Anyway, hail and good day, fellow IDOTs. We actually have a video on D-Day Cobra 2 talking about that person. Shockingly enough. Mr. Bitham says, Jeremy, you're definitely top 6 LGBTQIA plus streamer. Twisted Clown says, Jesse Ventura is the ice people goat. Vault 199 says, I can pick up a seashell and listen to CobraCast. Fantastic Knox says, Kino Casino jumping into Rumble. It'd be funny if they do well over there too. My stream is under attack. The Quartering, my stream is under attack. Kino jumped into Rumble. Please help me. It will be interesting. Listen, our Rumble stuff's doing really well, and I don't get put on the front page over there, but we've had over 300 and something people watching us on Rumble all night, so I really appreciate it. Super chats are picking up over there. You guys, I'm appreciating that. Okay. Retard tracking system says mushroom stamp for Ryan's forehead tax. I don't know why I said tax. I've gotten to the point where now I'm just adding the word tax to your fucking super chats, even when they're not there. I added the word tax, and there's no tax there. And I just added it because you guys have brainwashed me to thinking every fucking super chat says tax now. Fantastic Knox says, so I heard that the hotel that had the conference ball is the same hotel that Ronald Reagan was shot. That's true. Centurion says, hopefully RFK got something to eat tax. Or for $1. Thank you. Runs with Phantom says, it's not so fun to stay at the Hilton, D.C. Runs with Phantom says, she's starting off pissy because she's let down by the fact that she's talking to a living Trump. Not a bad take. Is it Dev Rick says Devi Rick maybe? Here's my first rant. I figured the only way to get the left to stop engaging in violence is if they are made to pay for it. Trump should denaturalize and deport Ilhan brother lover. Runs with Phantom says off with her head. King Donald the first, the breaker of libs, destroyer of Karens, liberator of oil reserve, protector of the realm, father of the peace accords. I like how that sounds. Raggedy Man says no tax. No tax. I like that. That's a good tax, actually. Pack Proton says $500. He goes for an extra 2 hours. Happy Jessica. You're going to give me $500 if I stream for 2 more hours. 2 more hours? I still got to make videos for Geeks and Gamers. Jake the Movie Geek's going to yell at me. Jake the Movie Geek's always like, oh, Jeremy's not going to make video. I was planning on making a fucking video, Jake the Movie Geek, okay? I was planning on making another video tonight. This is why I can't make videos. How about, come on, man. Like, I do have stuff to do. I got stuff to do. I can't go 2 hours. I've got to stay on point. We started gaining subs on Geeks and Gamers for the first time in about a month because I made a video. And the video did pretty well. My Michael Jackson video. And I did go see Michael Jackson again today. I saw Michael Jackson again. And I got to tell you, it's even better the second time. The Michael movie is phenomenal. Please go watch it. It's up to an 88% on Critic List, by the way. So remember, it was initially at like in the mid 70s when it first dropped on Critic List. Now it's up to an 88%. I gave it a 90, but fantastic, man. This movie is so good. It's so good. It's on streaming soon, says Laughing Man. Really? I mean, I'd say like in probably about a month and a half, probably. Keenan says, I read Krista's review. Of course you did, Keenan. But yeah, it's great, man. I'm calling it right now, even though it will never happen. Jafar Jackson should win the Oscar for Best Acting Performance. He is Michael Jackson. It's really incredible. It really is amazing. So, yeah, man. What an amazing film. What an amazing performance by Jafar. Yeah, I highly recommend it if you have not gone and seen it. But I know he's not going to because they hate the Jackson family and they hate Michael Jackson. But he absolutely should win the Oscar. Trump is your president, says tax-free grift tax. And if you don't pay good, Jeremy, you are gay. For $20. Thank you. I appreciate it. Jeremy the Cyborg says Donald Trump 45, 47, Donald Trump Jr. 48, Barron Trump 49. There we go. I like it. I like the sound of that. Packet Protons. Oh, I got that one. Ladybug says tax. Got that one. MJ in the H says the final mashup in the Hulk Hogan documentary where his original Real American theme song was playing through the music was freaking awesome. It's a really, really good documentary, dude. I very much enjoyed it. Teresa Young says, so is Mimi IDOT's girlfriend? Just asking. Hail 199. That's probably going to add some lore. It may turn out to be that way. I have no idea. I don't know how any of this shit works. I don't make up the rules around here. The chat does. That's as simple as that. Pack your protons next time. Okay. Hold that thought for next time. All right. But we're going to end it there. I'm going to give Kate her Sabaton because real quick to give you guys a note. So yesterday I was very concerned about what was going on with YouTube. Good news is, and again, I will continue to repeat this for all of you. The power is with the people. Yellow Flash, after his appeal was rejected for his stream being taken down last night, because of you all retweeting and tagging Team YouTube and being respectful and asking for them to look into it, they looked at it and they cleared his channel. They lifted the strike. This is why it's important for people to show support. We appreciate it. So thank you guys for supporting Yellow Flash and getting that taken care of. It's going to happen to me at some point. I'm every day I'm nervous about this shit. So anyway, we'll see, but I wanted to note that at least that was done. So with that said, I am being a little careful with AI stuff right now and intros and outros, but I'm going to go ahead and give Kate, she's not here, but I'm going to give Kate her outro tonight because we didn't do it last night because I didn't know what the hell was going to happen. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Multiple streams tomorrow. We'll be back. You guys have a good evening, and we'll talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.